everyone, my name is Jeffrey. Welcome back for episode 33 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video we come to the final part of our mega factory logistics and get to turn the whole thing on. Adding a quick drop off at the main base really pushes us in the right direction. Ending off with a 12 truck transport montage. We're finally putting this build to use. Thank you for all the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. The day has finally come. We are about to turn our mega factory on. It's been, I don't know how many hours I've been taking to build this factory now, but we're here on part 4 of this build series. But we got to take care of one little thing first. We're going to need a place to drop off all these items once those factories up and running. So if you can see on our to-do list, we got to do a quick little truck drop off at home. I say quick little, it's probably going to take me just a little bit, probably the first half of this episode. Then we're going to go back on over to the mega factory, hook up those belts to those truck stations, and then the grand finale, turning on the factory, followed by a little truck route montage where I send 12 truck lines back to base here. So thank you guys again for coming back here once again. It's another episode of Jeffrey. Hopefully he doesn't lose his mind this time. That was a lot last time. So let's go ahead and head on over to where our normal truck drop off is. And I just went ahead and I marked out at least the road for where we're going to build things, because I did build this in like I have a creative version of this world for like testing things and seeing how I like them. So I went ahead and I just marked out what I had designed previously, so at least I kind of know what I'm going to be doing here. So I'll give you guys just a quick overhead, so in case you want to follow along, it's nice and easy for you. So if we go from here, this is where our normal road is. I just went ahead and sectioned off another road, making this a 4-way split, even though this is one way, one way, one way. But you can flow between everything here. So the trucks are going to come in here to about where I had that yellow marking before. So kind of roughly from where my awesome sink is, it comes in about 3.5. And so we have enough room here to put truck stations down each side. And then you're going to have trucks come down the middle here. And then they'll pull into whatever station they need, pull back out into the middle. Then they'll go all the way down here, which comes to meet up with the rest of the road section. I haven't marked out, or I haven't put any markings on yet, but that's where they'll go back in. And they'll go flow into here. So I marked out 2 sections because I kind of figured this is going to be my my storage at some point. So I'm going to have truck stations going down either side. Obviously, we're not going to need to use all of those today, but we are probably going to fill up this section at least, and then we'll save this side for things we want to bring in the future. Or if I ever feel like pulling things out of here. I probably won't pull things out of here too much. This will be more just like the personal storage system. But yeah, let's go ahead and throw down some truck stations. I'm going to mark out, let me get a little counter on how many truck stations I actually had. Picture it looks like we're looking for a total of 16 truck stations. It's going to be 8 in each whatever tunnel we'll call these. So 4 and 4 on each side, and 4 and 4 on each side over here. Actually had to throw down some quick markings just so I could remember how my truck stations are actually laid out. So in between these 2 blocks right here are where the truck stations are actually going to sit. So I'll go through how I actually laid those out in like which position when we go to do this side. But I just had to do this quickly so I could actually remember where they actually go. So now we can actually go into placing our 16 truck stations. So we're going to go ahead and, like I said, stick them in between each row going down here. And then I will swap over to the other side and we'll show you how to do all the other stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and grab our truck stations here. We'll line it up with the hip, but it's going to sit a little bit off to the right like that. But what we're doing is we're actually lining up the hitbox specifically with these 2 foundations right here. And then instead of lining it up exactly right there, we're going to shift it back by 1. So we can put a little wall in front of it. So there's our first one in. Then we're going to hold down control so they line up like that. We're going to hopefully, oh, it's trying to line up with the, there we go. We'll just have to do it like that. Let's try to line up with the storage bins behind it. So there's 2. Sorry, I made a whoopsie. Now I got to place them back down again. So we're going to go 1, Then there's 2. So the problem, I was accidentally lining them up in the wrong position. So we got 2. Make sure they're lined up in between these lines here. With the hitbox, you're not trying to line the, obviously if you wanted to line the building up perfectly in between these, you'd have to do the little quarter nudge, but that'll just make a mess of everything. So there's 3, and there is 4. There will be some more markings in here as well. I just needed the basics to remind myself how to lay these out. So now let's switch on over to this side and we'll lay this out again. I gotta go grab some color cartridges really quick because I only had a handful on me, and then we'll be able to lay these down. If you guys didn't know, in the release or full release of the game 1.0, all this customization stuff will no longer require color cartridges. They are removing color cartridges from the game, which will make it's a bit of a a bittersweet thing because I kind of like having the flowers and all the extra little things, but it will also be a huge convenience for when we're doing like our blueprints, such as roads that have color cartridges. It'll be one less thing you got to carry around, which will just make things just a little bit easier. Alright, color cartridges have been acquired. I'm going to fly for this just in case anyone's trying to follow along specifically. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start from our first square right here, and we're going to set the factory zone line to the left side. This will allow me to still put two customizations on these blocks right here. And we're going to go to the third block. We're going to turn it back around to give you the space in between, still leaving you the 2 blocks. I'll show you really quickly what we're going to fill those with. We are going to fill them with a tractor icon. So we're just going to go like that, and that's the that'll be the spot where the tractors actually pull in. And then we go ahead and we grab our half factory zone, giving it a block and a half gap like that, and then turning it so this way. I wish they lined up a little better when you turn them, but unfortunately they look just a little off center. They are going to get changed to a different color anyway, so they won't be quite as visibly jarring. So we're going to do the same thing here. You're going to come to the next one over. You're going to turn it, so you got a block and a half in between. You turn that one there. And you can do this all the way along. There we go. Just like that, we have our little drop-off section marked out. We'll add in the other stuff here in a few minutes, but let's finish getting our truck station set up here. Let's go ahead and turn this around so it's facing the right way. Remember, we want to line up the hitbox, not the actual building itself. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. There is our 8 truck station tunnel. If you wanted to like squeeze the middle a little bit more, you can definitely fit 5 on each side, which will give you 10. It can give you a total of 20 between the 2 sections. But I think this should probably be plenty, and this gives you a little bit more room to make sure you're avoiding driving into the wrong truck station. Because at least this way you have like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks in between their hitboxes. That should be plenty of room to avoid actually pulling into the wrong one. Alright, so I got all my little tractor markings in, and as for the arrows going down the middle, we're going to go 1 in the middle here, obviously, pointing straight, and then each time we're going to do the left and right arrow. And then, I can't remember how often I was doing this. I think I put it about at the front of each one. So it's about there. So like right before each turn in. Put our left arrows. It had been 1 back. Was it one back? No, I don't think so. I think I was trying to line it up with this one. So we go get our arrows in. And then coming out the top here, all left turn. I decided to change it to straight because I feel like that would be a little confusing if the arrow was pointing right into here. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory that you're going to go straight out and then that way. So the only thing I also want to add is maybe a couple little tractor and storage icons going through here. Like tractor here, storage there. Like or storage. Tractor. Wait. Oh, there's a little, right, I remember. There's a little bit more of a gap in between this one. Oh no, there's not. There we go. So yeah, we'll go storage. The tractor in the middle. Just like that. That looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to change the color of a bunch of these. Let me refer back to my picture and we'll change some colors. So it looks like these lines are going to be white. The tractor part here is going to be white. And then these are going to be red. We're going to go white all the way along down here. Same with this side. And also the little tractor icons. So they stand out a little bit more. We'll do these ones as well. And then this I changed to swatch 6, which is CC and 4 zeros if you want to copy this one. This is going to mark out where you do not want to drive. This is the do not enter section. So now all I want to do is copy and paste this exact thing over to this side. Shouldn't take me too long. Bam, no time at all. That was actually pretty easy. It's a lot easier when you've already done it one time and you don't have to refer slowly back to your picture to make sure you're doing it right. So my overall idea is that we're eventually going to have a giant platform like this is going to be encased, and then the storage building is going to be actually sitting right above it. But I'm not going to worry about taking the time to figure out like all that belt work and everything and setting up all that stuff in this episode, because then this episode would be a whole its own multi-part section. So what I'm going to do for now is all I'm going to worry about is just setting up a smart sync, or whatever these are, awesome sync, to whatever truck stations are getting items dropped off to them, and then I'll just sync the items for now, and then we'll worry about actually setting things up properly later. All right, so just to skip ahead a little bit here, I went ahead and just put in 2 awesome syncs, or 1 awesome sync per 2 truck stations, just to keep things nice and moving quickly. So now I can go ahead. I'll wait until it's daytime, but in that time I will head on over to the Mega Factory, and we can start hooking up belts to our truck stations over there. I guess I'll need to throw down some power here really quick. So, but we can just kind of skip through that. So we'll hook up some power to. I've already got power running over here, so just hook all these up, and then we will head on over to the Mega Factory. Okay, belts to truck stations. Well, good morning. Look at that. Another morning in Satisfactory. So we did already do the belt that takes the concrete up here. That's the one that runs along the ceiling there and feeds into that truck station. So the other ones that will have to feed into this room, I think I'll feed along. So as you can see, there'll be 2 more truck stations we can feed. So, oh, actually, never mind. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 in this room that I can feed. And then, so what I think I'll do, this one I'll probably just run along the ceiling here. And then, so these other 4, I will run down through here and then up to the ceiling. That'll be perfect. Okay. I mean, I do have extra space to work with under here if I need it. Actually, we do. We do have a, well, never mind. Yeah, this is going to be the wall that comes down. So this is all the space we got. But that's fine. We have plenty. So let's go find our belts. So let's say if we need to have 4 going into that room over here, let's go ahead and connect these 4 and send them on their way over to that room. And then these other, I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those other 7, I will send somehow along this way into this room here. And then we're going to keep it. Oh, I thought that was a hole. Now I'm realizing it's the reflective floor. So we're going to send it along here to all these in here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should be a 7th somewhere. Where is it? Sorry, I got myself confused there. So it's these 4 will go over this way, and then a 5th will go up on top of here to feed that one. And then, so that will break off whatever one is the furthest to the right. We'll feed into, we'll add to this line here. So we got these 4, and one of those will come and they'll break off to the left to feed the 5 truck loading holes over there. And then the remaining, that'll be 6 belts will come along the ceiling here to feed. That's these correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, now we've got it. Now we're back in business. Okay, let's start running some belts over. And this is my favorite thing to do ever. Those belts all over the place. At least it's nice and clean. We got nice clean angles everywhere. Hopefully there's enough space to run things along the ceiling without any issues. Looks like I can probably get at least 4 or 5 over here. May have to drop some down a little bit and feed them underneath that one, but we'll make it work. There we go. Now I got 5 belts over here. I literally just grabbed, I'm not even sure exactly which one this is. I just grabbed whatever one was on the furthest to the right, so I had to make sure I didn't have to cross over anything, and brought it all the way down here. And we got 5 belts. So these 5 are going to go, the first 4 are going to go, and they're going to curve around this side, go down this little hallway section here. And then the other one is going to come right here. It's going to get lifted up into this tiny little section here, running through there, because the lift that I'm going to be looking for right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring these on over, and we'll figure it out from there. Okay, it only crashed on me once bringing these belts over here, so not too bad. I didn't lose any game progress, I don't think. So what, still getting that flashing. What I did do was bring that one belt up here into this little tiny gap in the ceiling to feed this line right here. I'm gonna have to wait and see what these belts actually are, because I currently have no idea as I'm hooking them up. The other one I actually had to, so these are the 5 that we're bringing over the concrete room. I was originally planning on bringing them in as a group of 4 along here, but they just wouldn't quite fit. You can only seem to fit 3 before you start clipping into walls if you have them on the side. So I ended up bringing one up onto the wall here, and that one's going to feed into this lift right here. I'm just going to turn like that. We're going to grab this. I have to bring it up to the ceiling a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to make sure it stays straight, please. There we go. Just a little up part right there. That's going to feed into this section right here. Make sure that's straight. Then we're going to shift it back to, so that we get a nice clean 90-degree turn, just like that. There's another truck station fed. So now we just got to bring these 3 over. Looks like 2 are going to have to go all the way over to this side, and 1's going to feed right here. So I think what I'll do is this one on the far right can just feed this one, and that'll leave the space through the middle here clear for these 2 to come on across the ceiling on over to these right here. So let's go ahead and just throw some lifts on here really quick. Do the same for this one. And then we'll hook up the rest of the belts. And there we go. There's all the truck stations for this room all hooked up, which is this one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's half our truck stations done already. So I know this one for sure is concrete. Then we got this one coming down all along here from the ceiling, getting fed from I used 2 lifts to get them up to the ceiling there. The other one goes to here. And then the other one ended up splitting. I just ended up hugging it along the wall all the way around, using a lift to get up to this one. So that is a pretty clean way, actually, if I do say so myself, of feeding all those 6 truck stations. So that we'll still be able to come down here and get a cool little walk around, get some cool visuals and everything. And I think this is going to be probably one of my favorite builds we've ever done. So now all we got to do is worry about hooking up the truck stations over here. We got the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, 5, 6. Another 6 lines to bring over. Hopefully we can keep the this side just as clean as we did the other one. It's going to get a little bit tricky as we get on over to this side. It's going to get quite full of belts running all along here. I think this was the area I was thinking would be the doorway out into the room here. If we wanted to get up this way, I may end up changing that because there's going to be a whole lot of belts running around over here. So let's go ahead and just drag the remaining 6 belts all the way down here. I left quite a bit of room to run them all over, so it shouldn't be too hard. The only thing it's going to be is just the length of time it'll take me to put these in. So we'll go ahead and cut ahead until I'm about somewhere over there, just so that you don't have to experience my eyes burning again. These are probably the longest conveyor belts I've done so far. They run literally from all the way from this side of the factory, all the way down along here. And then I snugged them up a little bit together just down here, as I'm going to be progressively turning them until we get on over to here. Some are going to have to go. Let's see how we're going to split this. I think I might send. This is where I may have made my little mistake of having these here and not shifted over to the side. But it doesn't really matter because, I mean, I'd kind of be in the way with that anyway. So I think what I'll probably end up doing is I will send a few on over here to the wall wherever I can. And then try maybe sending a few just kind of lower down a little bit through here. We'll figure it out. First, we got to get them from here to there. Alright, just to catch you guys up now, I've split the remaining 6 into 2 groups of 3. So we get the 1 group of 3 coming through on this side of the, so we got these 2 lines coming through here. They're the feed lines. So these 3 are going to come up through here, and they're going to feed, probably, trying to decide if they should do the front ones or the back ones. They should probably do the front ones, and then I can kind of figure out, maybe I can drag these ones down a little bit along the walls. They're not in the way. We'll figure it out. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good now that the sun's come up about how I got the belts over. Took me a few tries to get things kind of how I wanted it to. So the way I ended up splitting it up so that no one had to cross over each other was the middle one of the, like, so we had the 3 coming down this way. The 2 off to the right, I just sent off to their respective truck stations. And then the 3rd one, I ended up running it all the way to the back far right one here, so that I don't have to cross any of these 3 over coming to the back. So I did the one that was on the far right to the wall, into that one right there, and the other 2 came over here to feed these 2. So that is officially all the belts in this factory all finished. And you guys know what that means. It is time, the time we've all been waiting this long for. It's finally time to fire up all the turn on the factory. We're going to do it in steps. Obviously, we're going to turn on all our miners first. Let some things get backed up, and then we'll start hooking everything else up. I do have everyone out. I do have everybody kind of hooked up with a temporary power system for now. I just need to actually like hook them up to the actual power source, and everything will start running. The only thing I think I forgot to do was hook up the Caterium miner really quick. But everything else should be, just needs a power cable connected to it. Let me check the Caterium though. Okay, there we go. I had not connected the Caterium to power, so everything just kind of wired up temporarily, obviously. I just kind of threw power wherever it would fit, just so we can turn everything on. So now let's go through the best part of what I've been looking forward to for so long. Let's start turning everything on. Let's go ahead and start right here with let's start with the copper miners right here. Let's make sure they're set to do the correct amount. I need 260, so we'll split that between each of them. So you're going to overclock both of them to do 130 parts per minute. They're going to need 3 power shards each because these were, I think these were impure copper nodes. So let's go ahead and power those on. We connect this. Oh, this is also going to power on the Caterium. So let's make sure I have the Caterium set properly really quick. Caterium, we need 180. I think I actually have that set already. I do. Okay, so that's all set. So those miners can be turned on. So we'll connect this to right here. That should power everyone on. It does indeed. Okay, so now let's go and grab the power that I have set for the concrete and the iron. So this was the line for, I mean, this just happened to be here, I think, for some reason. So let's fire on the iron constructors. And they're all set properly, I believe, already. Yep, one fit. They're all set to do their proper amounts. So those should all start flying out now. And then the concrete constructors is pretty easy. We just go like this. One to there. One to there. That's connected to the two miners down here. I think that actually powered on more than oh yeah, it actually powered on these constructors too. Let me just deconstruct that power line really quick. So yes, the truck stations are powered on already. We'll get these miners flying. There we go. They're starting to do their thing. I don't think I set this properly yet, did I? No, I think I still need to overclock all the concrete miners. There we go. Yeah, I had forgotten to overclock these. So you need to overclock all the concrete or all the limestone miners to 100%. So that's going to do 150. That's going to do 150, and the one in the back is going to do 300. There we go. Now it's starting to fill up a little bit more. So I'm going to wait until these miners are backed up just so they have some extra to fill in. But that's all ready to go. Let's go check on some of the other ones. The manager flying over, checking in on us. We got iron flowing. Looks like it's backed up. Let's make sure it's actually made its way. There should be iron and copper. Both of these should be here. There's all our iron. Wait a second. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just not merging yet because it's not actually outputting. There's all our copper. Okay. So I think now we can actually connect the rest of the factory. Who's ready? Who's ready to party? Obviously, this is going to take a very, very, very long time to get all properly backed up for everything. But it's going to feel so good to finally have this all powered on. So let's go ahead and connect. Let's connect first. I think this is the line that actually, this may connect the entire factory right here. This one spot. Oh, aside from the constructors on the concrete, I need to hook back up. Those are on their own line. This right here, this little gap should fire on our whole factory, I think. It did. Oh, I didn't set something. Or, oh no, this is just isn't hooked up to power. Why not? Oh, that's why. See, so now we're going to be able to find all the little mistakes we made along the way. Now that's actually powered up. I think this one right here. Also not connected to power. I see things going up our item elevator though. That's a good start. Okay, we got caterium smelting, we got copper smelting, we got iron smelting. Okay, good. It's a good start. Something's not working here. Why not? Who's not getting their items yet? Ah, there it is. Here comes the caterium. So yeah, that one's the caterium in the middle. And the other one just got its copper. So yeah, we were just waiting on the caterium to move. So the smelting floor appears to be in working order. Man, these are going to be some action-packed floors. Especially this one. This is going to have a lot of, actually, this is going to be one of the most action-packed ones. All the ore flowing around down here, plus all the finished items towards the end. It's going to look crazy down here. Okay, so let's go up a floor. Let's start checking out the constructor floor. Let's see what's maybe not hooked up properly. It says no power. That is correct. There's no power to these ones. I definitely forgot. Playing the fun game of now of who did I forget to hook up to power, which was a couple of the constructors. That should be all of them. As long as they're yellow, that just means they're waiting for items. But red means I forgot to hook it up to power. And that's fine. And that we can fix easily. But it looks like everybody's actually hooked up to power now. I'm not seeing any more reds. I'm just seeing a lot of yellows, which is a good start. So we got a good sea of screws going here, which is going to be all these lifts right here. They're going to be a lot more full here shortly. So we are pumping out all our screws over here. Everything seems to be working fine. Pumping out even more screws here. This is the screw section of the factory. And here we're making a bunch of iron plates. Everything seems to be working okay. Getting backed up here for some reason. How are we getting backed up here? What's happening? There we go. I fixed it. I had a little belt mishap down below, but everything should be set up now. Check on everything else. Make sure it's not getting backed up either. Or, make sure the things that shouldn't be getting backed up aren't getting backed up. Yeah, everything seems to be moving fine. Constructor floor is looking a-okay. Like I said, it's going to be quite some time before everything gets backed up properly, but at least we know everything's now hooked up to power. We got things flying around on this floor. Mainly screws, because screws get made so quickly. We got quick wire getting pumped upstairs here. Oh, I saw a rotor. I'm making rotors already. Dang, that was fast. We got rods, screws. This is the reinforced iron plates. That's going to be a lot. That's going to be a little bit of a late start. Okay, but it looks like everything is working the way it should be. We're just waiting to get their proper feed amounts. So now we can check upstairs on the assembler floor. So yeah, this side's going to be a little while before it gets any reinforced iron plates. I may want to go to my storage and just pre-feed some of this system, which I'll probably end up doing. But oh, looky here. This is why you got to do the quality assurance check. Find out who's not hooked up to power. Who did I miss in the power montage? Looks like we had everyone though. Oh, we got AI limiters already being built. How about that? Yeah, limiters already being built. We got rotors already being built. We're slowly going to get to reinforced iron plates, which will also then in turn start slowly kicking out the modular frames. Looking a little light on the rods right now too. I think the rods are a little slow to get going in this one. But it's looking good. So I should theoretically start to see a few things running down. Yep, here we go. Here's things starting to feed the truck stations already. We got quick wire, screws, rods, iron plates, copper. Oh, it's pretty much everything already. Just very, very slowly. But that's perfect because now we can actually set up the truck lines. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me through this mega build. It feels really nice to have it finally coming to an end. So what we're going to do is we're going to check off turn on the factory. And we're going to move into the truck route montage. And then I will do a quick little recap at the end. But that was such an insane build to put all the way together. I appreciate you guys bearing with me through it. It's been really great having you guys in the Discord as well. I feel like I always want to mention this every episode. If you're not in the Discord already, please join in with us. There's lots of people in there talking about satisfactory things. And later on in the week of recording this one, at least, I'm going to set up a Google Drive with all my blueprints of world saves, along with a little section for community-made blueprints where you guys can submit them, and I'll upload for other people to use. Just send me them via Discord in a message and give me like a brief little explanation of what they are or what they do, and then I'll upload in the file and other people can use them. But yeah, let's go ahead and set up all 12 of these truck lines. Might try and make this a cool way, so otherwise it's going to take me absolutely forever, but we're going to jump into this and I'll see you guys after. All right, a couple hours of driving trucks later, and our factory is officially running. Look at this lineup of trucks. You'll see some of them are actually marked in black. They're the ones I actually have to redo, but for the sake of this episode, I at least have everything up and running. Now, just to end off, we're just going to do a little quick check in on all our machines here, make sure everyone's working the way they should be. It looks like all our miners are working properly. We got some constructors coming in and out here, probably just because they haven't backed up fully yet. That is exactly why. We're just waiting for a little bit more limestone to get backed up through this line. That's totally fine. I'll head up a floor here. Go check our smelters. I did make a little oopsie whoopsie. I actually didn't have these smelters connected, so you'll see when we go upstairs, my rods were not being fed properly, but they are now. It was just a simple fact of I forgot to connect a few belts. Everyone else seems to be running at 100% though. This is the rest of the iron line. This is the copper line. This is the caterium line. Everyone seems to be working properly. Get some in and outs here. What's happening? We're all backed up because they're not moving fast enough. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's starting to clear out now. So I think this one was just getting backed up because, again, the rods weren't working properly. So now if you come up here, the rods seem to be pumping out properly. We got our copper working correct. We got our caterium working correctly, which makes all our quick wire. Everything's looking good. I wish there wasn't such a mess of power cables, but a lot of this is just temporary until I actually get the rest of it in. These aren't working because they can't put the screws out, they're too fast putting the screws out. As the rest of these assemblers up here are now going to catch up. Now that I finally have my rod production figured out, these will actually start firing up. And then the other thing that uses rods was, the rotors. So the rotors and the reinforced iron plates were getting really backed up because they weren't getting the rods that they needed. But that brings us to the finale. The truck route montage is officially over. Even though, like I said, I have to redo a couple, but that's okay. That is officially our basic item mega factory up and running. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for all these 4 episodes. I'll be back in the next one to start working on the cosmetics. But until next time, make sure you bank up a lot of concrete. Maybe fix those, if you're following along, fix those truck routes I messed up on a lot of. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.